All right, everybody, this looks like the last example in this section to model how to do these types of problems. So it's all a layered combination of things you know, things we've talked about, things we've gone over, and we're just kind of really tying it all together, putting it in a neat little problem, sticking a bow on it and telling you, hey, get it, got it? Good. Okay. So here we're going to do the same thing we just did before. We're going to need to do our substitution. So let D equal x squared. D for my doggy, Dallas, who's sleeping next to my feet right now. So we will plug that in. So now what should happen is this should be D squared, D, and a constant, right? So if I have D squared and D is really x squared squared, does that make x to the fourth? Is that logical? Yeah, that is logical. So we're good. So now if I rewrite it, again, I normally would not do this step. Okay. I would split the middle doing AC method, and I would just use x squared for each term in the middle. Like whatever the middle is for AC method, like it's just going to match this. So if you choose to use -8, -3, you would do -8x squared and -3x squared and just carry on. Like this is just how it works. But if you make a mess and make a mistake, then this is for you. Okay. So really, if I'm telling the truth, I never do this. I think about 50% of you should, because you would more than likely mess up the middle. I'm not trying to be rude here, but like you're going to put X, you're going to screw everything up, and then your factoring is going to be a mess. And the other half of you would be fine, just doing it however the heck you want to do it in your head or by doing this step. So this type of substitution does end up being something you do a lot of in calculus. So it's not a bad idea to practice it, to be honest. But you have to know your own abilities, right? Okay. So anyhow, back here, 12d squared minus 11d plus 2 is 0. AC is 24. What multiplies to give you 24? We said it was 3 and 8. And then that can make the -11. So that's -3d, -8d, like that, right? But again, you want to factor like that, you can. I'm going to set this up. Now, 2 is prime. Whenever one of the A or C is prime, that's always great. So I'm going to have 2 and 1. If this is plus, it tells me both signs are either minus or both are plus. Being that this is minus, it means both are minus. If that were plus, they would both be plus. I want to use 3 and 8 as my outer and inner. Since that's a 2 and that's a 1, my decision sort of made for me. So this outer is going to have to be my 8, right? So it's -8, -3. So that's going to be 4d for outer times -2. That's -8d. Then this will have to be my inner, and that's going to be -3. So I have -1 times +3d. Check it, FOIL it to see if you get back the same thing. Now, some of you might sub back in right here. Substitute your answer back in, yada yada, and carry on, right? But I will wait, I guess, you know. But it's just tricky because it's like if you don't plug it back in at the right time, the perfect moment, you're going to forget to do it at all, you know? So you need to figure out what time you want to plug back in. I feel like a lot of people might want to wait till the end, um, get D all the way alone and then sub it back. So that's how I've been doing it. So 4D is 1, D is a fourth, that's the D value. 3D is 2, D is 2/3. Okay, so I found D in these situations, but D is x squared. So what am I going to do right now? We're going to go back and plug it in. So that means x squared is 1/4. X squared is 2/3. When you take the square root of both sides, do not forget you have to put plus minus. And what's the square root of 1? And what's the square root of 4? Square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 4 is 2. We get a plus minus in front. So we got 2 answers right there. And then here it's going to require a little rationalizing. X equals plus minus the square root of 2/3. which is really the same as plus minus root 2 over root 3. And we're going to rationalize like that. So x equals plus minus root 6 over 3. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have 4 answers. All right. You have 4 answers. They all end up working. If you put your answers in the solution set, plus minus root 6 over 3, comma, plus minus 1/2. Ooh, there we go. Kind of all tucked in, ready to go. All right. I hope you found that helpful. We ended on a kind of an easier one. You have a bunch of exercises you can try. I'll give you even more to work on in class. So, if you already have the notes taken, great. You'll dive right into the problems. I'll walk around and help you guys. And if you don't have the notes, I guess, if you have your computer, you could take the notes during class and everyone else could start the assignment. But that's just going to put you behind a bit. Okay. Read the notes, read the tips that I gave you along the way. And use them, and then do the exercises that are sort of tucked away next to each example. That is your main part of the assignment, and then I will give you, like I said, more in class tomorrow. All right, if you have any questions or any examples that you definitely want to go over, please make sure you ask me tomorrow, perhaps before you even get started. Wait a minute, is there another example? Oh no, that's the last one. Okay, I don't know, it's just confusing myself. All right, adios.